There is the world we all know, and then there is the world we never see. Welcome to the Invisible World TV. This is not a journey for tourists. This is a journey into the invisible. Tonight, we travel into the most incredible geometry in nature. Giant's Causeway, Northern Ireland. The hexagonal puzzle. At first glance, it looks artificial. Thousands of perfectly interlocking hexagonal columns rise from the North Atlantic coast like the ruins of a forgotten civilization. The Giant's Causeway doesn't look natural. It looks engineered. Around 40,000 basalt columns, most of them hexagonal, fit together with geometric precision. Some are four-sided, others 7 or 8, but the hexagon dominates. The most efficient shape for tight packing in nature. Local legend says a giant named Finn McCool built the causeway to walk to Scotland and fight a rival. And honestly, standing there, watching the ocean crash against those stone pillars, it feels like mythology might be more believable than geology. But science tells a different story. Around 60 million years ago, volcanic lava erupted and spread across the landscape. As it cooled, it contracted. And when certain materials cool evenly, they fracture, not randomly, but in patterns that minimize energy. And that pattern is the hexagon. It's the same geometry you see in honeycombs, the same structure in dried mud cracks, the same efficiency repeated across scales. Nature did not design it consciously, but it optimized it. And optimization, when repeated over millions of years, looks indistinguishable from intention. So the question becomes, if pure physics can produce architecture this precise, how much of what we call design is simply inevitability? Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. The world's largest mirror. Flatness is rare in nature. Mountains rise, rivers curve, forests twist. But Salar de Uyuni is something else entirely. A salt flat so perfectly level that NASA uses it to calibrate satellites. It spans over 10,000 square kilometers, and its elevation varies by less than 1 meter across its entire surface. During rainy season, a thin sheet of water transforms it into the largest natural mirror on Earth. The sky reflects so perfectly that the horizon disappears. Up and down lose meaning. But beneath this surreal symmetry lies ancient geometry. Uyuni was once part of a prehistoric lake. As the water evaporated, it left behind thick salt crusts. Over time, the surface cracked into polygonal patterns, repeating geometric tiles stretching as far as the eye can see. Hexagons again. Nature repeats what works. Efficient tiling, stress distribution, energy balance. What looks like art is actually equilibrium. And equilibrium, in the right conditions, is breathtaking. The Moeraki Boulders, New Zealand. The planet's perfect spheres. Scattered along Kohe Kohe Beach in New Zealand lie dozens of massive stone spheres. Some are nearly 3 meters wide, almost perfectly round. They look carved, placed, arranged. The Maori legend says they are the remains of eel baskets, calabashes, and gourds washed ashore from a legendary canoe wreck. And honestly, at sunrise, when mist rolls in from the Pacific and these spheres emerge from the sand, the myth feels plausible. But the real explanation is slower, stranger. These are concretions, sedimentary formations that grow around a central core, layer by layer, like pearls. Over millions of years, minerals precipitate from groundwater and cement surrounding sediment in concentric shells. Pressure distributes evenly in all directions. And what shape does equal pressure create? A sphere. The most efficient geometry in 3 dimensions. What's unsettling is how precise they are. Some have cracked open, revealing perfectly symmetrical inner structures, like planetary cross-sections. They weren't shaped by hands. They were shaped by balance. And balance, given enough time, produces perfection. The Wave, Arizona, USA. Frozen motion in sandstone. Deep in the Coyote Buttes of Arizona lies a sandstone formation so fluid it seems impossible that it isn't moving. The wave looks like liquid stone. Undulating bands of red, orange, and gold curve in parallel lines as if sculpted by a digital artist. But no one sculpted it. Around 190 million years ago, this area was a desert of massive sand dunes. Over time, those dunes were buried, compressed, and turned into rock. Wind erosion later carved away the softer layers, revealing hardened, cross-bedded sandstone beneath. The geometry you see is fossilized motion. Each curved stripe marks the original slope of ancient dunes, wind patterns frozen in stone. The structure is so fragile that only 64 visitors per day are allowed to enter by lottery. Why? Because one careless step could erase geometry that took nearly 200 million years to form. Here, time is visible, and it flows in lines. Mount Roraima, Venezuela, Brazil, Guyana. The tabletop of the gods. Mount Roraima rises from the jungle like a rectangular monolith dropped from the sky. Vertical cliffs, flat summit, sharp edges. From above, it looks engineered, a natural fortress with geometric precision. These formations are called tepuis, ancient sandstone plateaus left behind as surrounding land eroded over billions of years. Roraima's summit spans over 30 square kilometers, and its sheer cliffs rise nearly 400 meters. Rain falls constantly on its surface, carving geometric channels into black rock. Pools form in perfect depressions. Mist lingers in straight lines along the plateau's edge. Its isolation has allowed species to evolve nowhere else on Earth. It feels designed because it's separated. Isolation creates definition. Definition creates shape. And shape creates the illusion of intent. Romanesco broccoli, the edible fractal. At first glance, Romanesco broccoli looks artificial, like a 3D model generated by a computer. Sharp, lime-green spirals stacking upward in hypnotic precision. But Romanesco is not just visually strange, it is mathematically profound. Each small cone is a miniature version of the entire vegetable. This is called a fractal, a structure that repeats its pattern at multiple scales. Zoom in, the same geometry appears. Zoom further, it repeats again. But the real marvel lies in its spirals. Count them. You will often find 2 sets of spirals moving in opposite directions, and their numbers almost always correspond to Fibonacci numbers, 8 and 13. 13 and 21, 21 and 34. The Fibonacci sequence is a progression where each number is the sum of the two before it. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. This sequence appears across nature because it optimizes growth. In Romanesco, each new bud forms at approximately 137.5 degrees from the previous one, the so-called golden angle. This angle allows each new growth point to receive maximum sunlight while minimizing overlap. This is not decoration. It is efficiency. The plant grows in the most mathematically optimized way possible. For centuries, sacred geometry traditions associated spirals with cosmic expansion and divine harmony. Ancient architects used the golden ratio in temples and cathedrals, and yet the same proportion governs a vegetable growing in a field. Perhaps geometry was never sacred because humans invented it. Perhaps it was sacred because humans discovered it. The nautilus shell, the logarithmic spiral. Deep in the ocean lives one of the oldest surviving creatures on Earth, the nautilus. Its lineage stretches back over 500 million years. It has survived mass extinctions, continental drift, climate collapse, and through it all, its shell has remained nearly unchanged, a logarithmic spiral. Unlike many shells that only approximate the golden spiral, the nautilus follows a nearly perfect exponential curve. Each chamber grows proportionally larger than the last while maintaining the same shape. This means the animal can grow indefinitely without changing its proportions. Growth without distortion. Mathematically, the logarithmic spiral is self-similar. If you zoom in or out, the shape remains identical. And this same curve appears elsewhere, in spiral galaxies, in hurricanes, in ram horns. The same mathematical equation, from microscopic organisms to cosmic structures. When the same geometry governs both life and the universe, the line between biology and cosmology begins to blur. Is it coincidence, or is it inevitability? Snowflakes, the six-fold code of water. In 1611, Johannes Kepler wrote an essay asking a simple question: why do snowflakes almost always have six sides? The answer lies in chemistry. Water molecules bond through hydrogen connections that naturally arrange into a hexagonal lattice when frozen. Each molecule aligns at 60-degree angles, forming the structural basis for six-fold symmetry. The rule is fixed, but the outcome is never identical. As a snowflake falls, it travels through layers of atmosphere with varying humidity and temperature. These micro-changes alter the crystal's growth pattern in subtle ways. The geometry is predetermined. The details are shaped by chaos. That is why no two snowflakes are identical. Yet all obey the same six-fold law. Order and randomness coexist. Structure and unpredictability intertwine. And within that balance emerges something delicate and perfect. The honeycomb, nature's optimal equation. Why do bees build hexagons? Why not circles? Why not squares? In 1999, mathematician Thomas Hales proved the honeycomb conjecture, demonstrating that the regular hexagon is the most efficient way to divide a surface into regions of equal area with the least total perimeter. In simpler terms, hexagons store the most space using the least material. Bees did not study mathematics. They evolved toward efficiency. And efficiency naturally converged on the optimal geometric solution. For centuries, the hexagon was viewed as a symbol of harmony and cosmic balance in sacred traditions. But in the hive, it is not mystical, it is economical. Less wax used, more honey stored, less energy wasted. Nature does not pursue beauty, it pursues efficiency. And efficiency becomes beauty. The beehive tombs of nature, basalt columns, worldwide. The planet's secret blueprint. The Giant's Causeway isn't unique. Similar basalt columns appear in Devil's Postpile, California, Fingal's Cave, Scotland, Svartifoss, Iceland, Garni Gorge, Armenia. Across continents, across climates, the same vertical columns, the same polygonal symmetry. Why? Because the mathematics of cooling lava doesn't change with geography. When molten rock cools at a steady rate, contraction creates fractures. And the most efficient way to divide space evenly? Again, hexagons. But here's what most people don't realize. These formations form from the top down. Cracks begin at the cooling surface and propagate downward, creating towering geometric pillars. Nature doesn't sculpt them deliberately. It simply follows rules. And rules, repeated consistently, create structure. Structure becomes pattern. Pattern becomes beauty. Beauty becomes mystery. Sunflowers. Fibonacci in motion. Stand in front of a sunflower. At first you see color, then symmetry, then something deeper. Look at the seeds in the center. They are not arranged randomly. They spiral outward in two directions, clockwise and counterclockwise. Count them. You will almost always find two consecutive Fibonacci numbers, 34 and 55, 55 and 89, 89 and 144. This pattern is called phyllotaxis, the arrangement of plant structures to maximize efficiency. Each new seed forms at the golden angle, approximately 137.5 degrees from the previous one. Why this angle? Because it distributes seeds in the most efficient way possible, preventing gaps and overlaps. No wasted space, no collision. The sunflower is not decorating itself. It is solving a packing problem. And it does so with a mathematical sequence humans only formalized centuries later. Pinecones. Spiral phyllotaxis in 3 dimensions. Now hold a pinecone. Its scales twist upward in spirals. Count one direction, then the other. Again, Fibonacci numbers appear. The pinecone follows the same growth principle as the sunflower, but in 3 dimensions. Each scale emerges at the golden angle relative to the previous one. This allows optimal exposure to air, rain, and sunlight during development. Spiral phyllotaxis is not aesthetic, It is structural intelligence encoded in growth. Across forests worldwide, millions of pinecones silently express the same numerical law, a pattern repeated not by design, but by inevitability.
Starfish, the power of radial symmetry. Most animals on Earth are bilateral: 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs. But the starfish follows a different blueprint. 5 arms radiate from a central point. This is radial symmetry, a geometry often found in organisms that interact equally with their environment from all directions. Living on the ocean floor, the starfish does not chase prey like a predator. It responds to stimuli from every side. Radial symmetry provides balance, stability, even distribution of force. The same 5-fold symmetry appears in certain flowers, not because 5 is magical, but because in certain ecological conditions, radial geometry is optimal. Symmetry becomes survival. Spiderwebs, the mathematics of tension. A spiderweb looks fragile. It is not. Each strand is placed with astonishing precision. Radial lines extend outward from the center like spokes on a wheel. Spiral threads connect them in concentric circles. This structure distributes force evenly. When an insect strikes the web, tension travels along multiple radial pathways, preventing total collapse. The geometry minimizes material while maximizing strength. Engineers study spider silk for its tensile properties, stronger than steel by weight. But beyond the material lies the structure. The web is not random. It is a tension-optimized network. A living equation suspended in air. Butterfly wings, symmetry and signal. Look at a butterfly. Its wings mirror each other almost perfectly. This bilateral symmetry is not coincidence. During development, morphogen gradients, chemical concentration fields, guide cellular growth across both sides of the body. The result is mirrored pattern formation. But symmetry here serves multiple purposes. Camouflage, predator confusion, mate attraction. In some species, eye-like patterns emerge, concentric circles that mimic the gaze of a larger predator. Geometry becomes illusion. Pattern becomes communication. Mathematics becomes survival strategy. Shark skin, microgeometry of speed. At first glance, shark skin feels smooth. Under a microscope, it is not. It is covered in tiny tooth-like structures called dermal denticles. Each denticle has ridges aligned in the direction of water flow. These micro grooves reduce drag by controlling turbulence along the body's surface. Fluid dynamics meets geometry. The same principle is now used in competitive swimwear and aerodynamic engineering. Nature optimized hydrodynamics millions of years before humans understood the equations. The shark does not calculate. Its skin embodies calculation. DNA, the double helix. Deep inside every living cell lies perhaps the most iconic geometric structure of all. DNA forms a double helix. Two strands twisting around each other in a precise spiral. Each full turn measures approximately 3.4 nanometers. The helix is not arbitrary. Its geometry allows efficient information storage, stable molecular bonding, compact packing inside microscopic nuclei. Hydrogen bonds connect complementary base pairs at fixed angles. The sugar-phosphate backbone maintains structural consistency. The result is a spiral staircase of biological code. From bacteria to humans, life shares this same helical architecture. A repeating twist. A universal curve. The spiral once again. Zebras. Chaos organized into stripes. From a distance, a zebra looks simple. Black and white, orderly, repetitive. But step closer. No two zebras share the same pattern. Each stripe configuration is unique, like a fingerprint. So how does such precision emerge? During embryonic development, zebra skin cells follow a biological mechanism known as a reaction diffusion system. First proposed by mathematician Alan Turing. Two chemical signals spread across the skin. One activates pigment, the other inhibits it. Where activation dominates, black stripes form. Where inhibition wins, white remains. This interaction produces stable, repeating patterns, stripes, spots, waves. It is mathematics expressed through chemistry. But the geometry does more than decorate. Stripes may confuse predators by disrupting depth perception. They may regulate temperature by altering airflow. They may even reduce insect landings through optical interference. Pattern becomes protection. What appears chaotic is in fact governed by equations. The zebra is not painted, it is computed. What ancient civilizations once called sacred geometry may not be mystical at all. It may simply be universal, a recurring consequence of physical law. Spirals, hexagons, fractals, radial symmetry. From vegetables to oceans to snow to galaxies. Nature does not draw, it computes, silently, relentlessly, for billions of years.